Alright. Ugh. Love when I forget something. And then I have to go backpedal and figure it out. Woohoo! Yahoo! Alright, keep that in place. Yes! 22nd of February, 1:11 p.m. Naruto's legal consultation C. Feel we made it back in one piece. Just to be perfectly honest, I thought we were finished there for a while. You have such high thoughts. Hello. Hello. You have such high regard for yourself, Ryunosuke. Complete faith.
Oh, I know. What a lot of close shaves. There's so many carriages on the street of London. We were very nearly flattened several times.
I've been on time multiple times. You being on time is more of a surprise. Oh no, I didn't mean that.
Yes, I know. It was a marvelous defense, Naruto-san. It really was. I was in awe of you.
I literally can't figure out where... Oh, thank you. Hello. Hello, I'm always your agent. I definitely just had stuff to do. Uh-huh.
And now that your fervent exploits have won us some more precious investigation time, let's see if we can find some new clues for a court tomorrow.
Yes, let's do that.
Is everything alright?
I suppose. I still can't quite believe it. That's all. What, that we successfully made it to another day? Phoenix did it all the time. You're fine. Which I guess would be more impressive for Ryunosuke since he doesn't have modern conventions to do so. I saw on Twitter. Oh my goodness. Hello. I managed to send a message to my colleagues and thankfully not my... Oh my gosh. Yeah, you need to be very... You need to turn off your computer. Yes, they're all extremely wholesome. Yes, they are. Oh boy. So your cat's been giving you the run of the century? That I'm here in England working as a lawyer, I mean. In the Old Bailey, no less. The truth is, it shouldn't be me, should it? It should be him standing in my shoes.
Well, that's not exactly your fault, is it?
You know, it should be Kazuma.
It was Kazuma-sama's wish that you'd follow him to Great Britain and work alongside him.
He's actually mortified. My goodness. But hey, it's attorney time. Yep. Yes, I mean, I never had the chance to ask him exactly why, but he clearly had a plan. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for him.
And you're doing wonderfully, Naruto-san. I have no doubt that Kazuma-sama would say exactly the same if he were with us.
Thank you, Sasato-san. Thank you. Because this was, in between, like, case 3 and 4, I think? So this is a little bit earlier on. Is your cat hard to eat noodles? Oh, boy. Instead, now I'm locked out of my account because of way too many passwords. Yeah, you just need to you really just need to turn off your computer completely. Or put it in sleep mode when you walk away. Golly. Today's trial. It was quite a shock earlier today, wasn't it? When the victim himself turned up in court and took the stand.
I know.
Not only that, but then finding out that he's actually barefaced gas thief as well. Oh my. I'd be impressed and horrified at that revelation.
Yes, that was certainly a surprise to us all. For a while, it seemed as though everyone had quite forgotten about Soseki-san's poisoning the tea.
Careful of your phrasing, Susato-san. He didn't poison anything. The pig will believe if I send my record time out of my account. Well, you could say along the lines of, like, one of my computer... Like, one of the buttons... Like, the enter key was broken, so it just kept entering in. And it locked you out of your account? That could be one way. And there's more to this Mr. Shamspear than we yet know, I'm sure of it.
Mr. Shamspear certainly wasn't the noble, upstanding man everyone thought he was at first.
What's become of him, actually?
I was told that he'd be returning to the hospital ward where he was receiving treatment.
Oh, which one is that?
Let me see. Ah, yes, he's at St. Bartholomew's, or Bart's, as Londoners call it.
We know that place, don't we?
Yes, we visited Miss Green there yesterday. The same hospital to which she was taken.
What a coinky-dink. Could it not be that what a small world it is in London. It couldn't be that we didn't want to make a random hospital for just one thing. Oh. Ah yes, after Soseki-san stabbed her in the back.
Do be careful of your phrasing, Naruto-san. He didn't stab anyone.
And you said that he poisoned. So I think we're even. Perhaps we both owe Soseki-san an apology. St. Bartholomew's. Yes, we should probably visit the hospital later. Yes, St. Bartholomew. Yeah, Naruto-san. Yeah, Naruto-san. Uh-huh. What's next? Hear what the age gap is. They literally share the same price. I think they're really good friends. So we know that Soseki-san took tea to the victim on the night in question. But he isn't the culprit, then, obviously.
Yes, the poison surely wasn't in the tea.
But if that's the case, how on earth did the poison get into Mr. Shamspear's body? 5 or 6 years is possible. We're not doing this again. We're not doing this again, where we're talking about freaking the ages of this game. Because then it's going to bring up a certain case again, and we don't need to go into that case again. That case just needs to stay in the vault and never come back.
I'm sure we'll find a clue at the scene.
I knew it! I knew it would come back! I knew it as soon as freaking age came into it. The freaking case would be brought back. The circus.
There must be something in Mr. Shamspear's room that will help solve the mystery.
We're not doing this go around again. It's always that one case. Yes, it will never die. Well, naturally, Scotland Yard detectives have been over the place already. Record over our head and move on, please. Yeah, the tainted. Oh my gosh. But it couldn't hurt for us to have another look around, I think.
Definitely. And I'm desperate to know the outcome of the investigation into the tea left in the bar of soap.
Well, if we run into Inspector Gregson, we could ask him about it. Yeah, it's like, we don't talk about... Oh my gosh, stop! Stop. You do it one more time. Okay, thank you. Thank you. You realized the ramifications of that statement. Thank you. Kazuma's wishes. Kazuma Osagori, the best friend I ever had, and a lawyer with such promise. You really saved my bacon in that horrible incident just before we left Japan. I can still picture him now, looking so fierce and determined in court. And then after the trial, that crazy idea he came up with. As a stowaway? Yes, you can fit inside my trunk if you curl up small enough, I'm sure. No one will know. The point is, don't bring it up again, or you'll be timed out. We are done with this. We're not bringing it up again. It's not even related anymore. Cosmo, why won't you tell me why? Why go to these lengths so I can accompany you to Great Britain? Well, it's been on my mind ever since we got through that trial, that you really ought to go into law, be a defense lawyer. You've got a natural talent for it, believe me. I guarantee it. But I've never even thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, I can't force you, obviously. You have to decide for yourself. Yeah, oh my gosh, stop. Remember Cosmo and the sailor? We're not bringing... No. Stop. But anyway, London is the cultural capital of the world, the city at the forefront of everything. Can't hurt for you to see it with your own eyes. No, that's true. Suppose, though, if you were to become a lawyer, then one day... One day what? Oh, no. Never mind. And Cosmo is here too. Oh my gosh. No, you're just bringing it up because you wanted to bring it up. Anyway, Kazuma, I've already established to you that Kazuma is around. Because things weren't thought all the way through when they decided to randomly put an age into these profiles. Because age doesn't really become a big component in cases, and they just put ages in here. Sometimes, like, I'm not even getting started on it.
Naruto-san?
Oh, sorry, I was just thinking about Cosmo. Yes, Jigglypuff is always round. Like the moon. Mm-hmm. We're not Danganronpa. That's a whole different thing. We're not getting into it. That is not the topic for today.
Yes, he's forever in my thoughts, too. To change the Japanese judicial system for the better. That was his dream. And that's why he so desperately wanted to come to Great Britain to study, of course.
Yes, that's right, but...
Yes?
I do wonder if his true intentions lay elsewhere sometimes. He's got the confidence of a teenager. Well, I don't even... Well, this is back during, what, the turn of the century, so... I don't... How much education would he have during this time period? So it's kind of a question of... Oh, no. I don't know. The thought just takes hold of me every now and then, that's all. Anyway, Danganronpa, that would be something I would have to do for an extended period of time. I've already... Like, the only one that I don't know everything about is the third one. I know some bits and pieces. I think it's just a thing in general where game developers don't realize they just put in an age and they didn't think about it. Sometimes. And you're just like, excuse me, if you just took a single second, we'd be fine. Anyway, Naruto is in college. He's in college, so he's like 20? I think's what it was said. Because Sasato's 16. I think he's 20. Who doesn't have any claws? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's like 20. Documented age, excuse me, he's 23. What's this from? Yeah, Capcom's official website. Yeah, he's 23. Ryunosuke is 23 years old. And yeah. And then Kazuma is 23 to 24 because I think his birthday happens at some point during the game. So yeah. I can get over that Herlock Sholmes is 34. Explains the baby's face. Yeah. Everyone else, like, now that I realize that most of every male in here has a mustache except for Herlock and Shamspear over here and Van Zeeks. This guy just has a very... You're the same age as Ryunosuke. Really? That's wild. If I'm judging me. Huh? I don't know. This time we're gonna teach you how to be a gentleman. Huh. Well, I think he's just very... I think we know that, Ryunosuke's confidence is, you know, improving over time. Maybe not the highest, but it's there. But yeah, he looks really... Well, even 34 is very young, but not as young as I thought he was. Which makes me question, how old is Dr. Wilson? Because she's 10, he's 34, so was Dr. Wilson in his 30s? As well? Or no? Since he was partners with Dr. Wilson, and he's a 10-year-old daughter. How old is he? And the other guy's 33, and he looks yeah. I'm 801 years old, which is young for my species, but very old to Earth species, so, you know. Who had children at 16? Skid at point, yeah. Yeah, if I'm gonna be honest, I was very worried about Sasato when she got a note about her father, like, her father wanting her to come home. I thought he was gonna put her in an arranged marriage. I was gonna be very honest with you. That was the thing that I was scared of the most. I was like, no, please. No, I don't really consider his age a spoiler. He's 40. Wow, really? Huh. I did not know that. Wow, Dr. Wilson is good. He's got skincare routine as well, man. He looks more like, obviously he looks more mature, but he don't look 47. Like, he don't look like he's on the older side. Well, 50s, yeah, it's kind of getting closer to the 50s. Anyway, Kazuma's true intentions. Yeah, he's got a bit of a baby face too.
Naruto-san, what do you mean by Kazuma-sama's true intentions?
Oh, the sword. I was like, what? It's fine having... What do you mean? Please, because I think you're going to be timed out. If I think where your joke is going, it's better not be finished. I mean this.
His katana?
I never expected to inherit the sword after Kazuma passed away, of course.
No, I know. It was because I asked you to take it.
time this. Well, that is an interesting way of telling time. It's by the shedding of the fur. When I have it at my side in court, I feel as though it gives me courage. Yes. Actually, the night before he died, he told me a little about the sword. Flashback, number 2. Karuma? That's right. It's a prized sword that's been passed down through generations of the Osugoi clan. Or is it Asugi or Osugoi? I'm going to mess it up every freaking time. Tipsy, oh boy. Different age after all. Well, yeah, since, Van Zieks can bring in juice into court. And everything else. Like, we've had, weapons in the court before. I don't think this is that surprising. We're not bringing into this. Let's drop the topic. Golly. Japanese man's sword is his soul, Ryunosuke. I can't be parted from my katana. Kuruma guides me. I truly believe that. And I have a button that makes someone go to the Shadow Realm. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know what time period when smoking would be. You have to be in outside spaces. Oh my gosh. No. Yes, they are wild. Very, very wild.
Asogi.
Okay, it is Asogi. Really? Now someone already got it for you. Bye! So its name compels its wielder to slice evil in two? Not that you would need much compelling. On that subject, there's something very important that I have to do in Great Britain. Why? Someone wanted to do a joke and they thought that was funny. There's something very important I have to do in Great Britain. Something you have to do. Yes. I'd appreciate you seeing it through with me. Oh, of course I will. Whatever it is, I'll see it through to the end with you. I knew you wouldn't let me down.
What did he mean by something very important that I have to do?
I had hoped that the answer to that question would become apparent when we arrived here, but as yet I've not found a single clue.
I see.
Anyway, we can finally move on to the rest of the game, because we've been here for the last 25 minutes. I want to go sitting in a race car today. Like an actual race car? That's pretty cool. Not on topic, but that is pretty cool. Oh my gosh, it's back. Yeah, that is very cute. 22nd of February, St. Bartholomew's Hospital Recovery Ward. You see what's here? It's still freaking here. Why?
What do you suppose is happening? It sounds like some sort of disturbance.
I hope not. Please be careful if that is the case. Golly, don't have... please tell me you don't have this in your room, please. Please, for your safety, please. Yes, I hear angry voices. Oh, great.
Do not be angry, O ample lady. Verily, thou art mistaken. Mistaken, my foot. You were looking at my painting. The eye of man hath not heard. The ear of man hath not seen.
He's annoying, this poor girl. I don't want to... I'm scared to find it.
'Twas foul indeed, the poison that mustache villain gaveth me. Forgive me, lady.
Are you blaming Sozeki-san for you looking at her painting?
I wish you died from that poison. Out of mercy, ample lady, but thou seest thy vigor still. Behold my sham spear dance.
Is this how he attracts the ladies? Is this... I don't know. Is this guy impressed? I can't tell if the mouse is impressed or not. She's like, what is happening? And this rat is just like, okay, this is happening. Oh. So that's a thing.
This looks rather ominous, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Ah, lo, 'tis the lawyer from the land whence riseth the sun. How now?
That's me when I open a great pull-up. You do that dance? Though that dying of shame is impressive. It is, but his name is Shamspear, so I think he has no shame to begin with. What are you doing here, Mr. Shamspear?
Mary, I do believe I am returned onto another ward. He was looking, that's what he was doing. Looking at my terrible work. Eastern fellow, so dark.
So, it's clad, but is it supposed to be like E-clad? Good thing or a bad one? Yeah, I don't know. I do not know either, if that is a good thing or bad.
Eastern fellow, so darkly clad. Faith, thy work in court this morning was wonderful. I do applaud thee.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, darky clad. Because it's like the Y, I'm like, what? Yeah, I think it's close. Probably something like that. Oh! That's not good.
But that doesn't mean things will go so wonderfully for you tomorrow.
Does it? He's a magician.
A non-exact...
Yeah, I think so. Mr. Shamspear might technically be the victim in this case, but there's definitely a lot more to it than that. If we lose, well, even if we lose, we'll have made him pay fines and gas. Yeah. It's very hard to pin the man down.
I'm so sorry. I'm such an awful person.
Miss Green, is everything all right?
Oh, yes, I mean, don't worry about me. They're about to discharge me, so I must get ready to leave now.
Oh, I see.
We're delighted that you'll soon be well enough to go home, Miss Green. Oh dear, you're too kind. I don't deserve it.
She really needs... If we think Ryunosuke has no confidence, this poor woman has no confidence. was that a thing back in the day? Ready, oh yeah, it was. What am I talking about? Was mercury used in the paint? Was that another thing that was happening? Green, only green? Oh, wait. Almost everything. Oh no. But she's got everything. She's got a green jacket, she's got this, she's got green stuff over here. Miss Green! No! No! She's so sweet! So how are you feeling? Are you feeling more like yourself today, Miss Green? No wonder she's young.
I am. Thank you. I mean, people do recover from ordeals like this, don't they? Even people like me.
She's all powerful. Yeah, it's just chilling there. I've lived much longer as a character. What the frick? Now we know why That's sad. Well, yes, it really was an ordeal, wasn't it?
As far as I was concerned, I was just walking along in the snow one evening, minding my own business. And then, completely out of the blue, I was struck in the back by a knife and collapsed unconscious for days.
She had such bad luck, my goodness.
Of course, when I finally woke up again yesterday, the whole business had been cleared up already. What a terrible week it's been for you. Oh no, I'm sure I'm very lucky, really. I'll look back on this fondly.
Really?
Anyway, I must be getting my things together now, so I'm ready to be discharged.
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry to take up your time when you're obviously busy. Hello. I just feel bad for her. The poor thing has just been dealing with a lot of stuff. I still can't believe this is still here. Like, this really is an example of hygiene was not the highest priority here. I guess we'll go to Shakespeare's room. Alright. Mr. Natsume's lodgings, ground floor. It's not even Mr. Natsume's. This is Shakespeare. Oh, hello again, Inspector Gregson. What are you doing here? Well, we were hoping to have another look around, actually. I hope not. Shakespeare, then at this point it's Shakespeare. It says Shakespeare. Yeah.
The lawyer representing the defendant has a right to examine the scene, as I'm sure you're aware.
Yeah, I know the score. Oh yes, one other thing. The soap on the ledge outside the window. Did you find it? With the tea in it? Yeah, we found it, alright. And there was a small amount of tea in it, as you said. I knew it. It's with the identification section at the yard now. They're looking into it. The results should be available later today.
That's wonderful news. Thank you.
You don't look happy. For impressive performance in court this morning. Sorry? Nothing. Forget. Just make sure you don't disturb anything in him. He got a babysitter. Fun.
So it turns out that Mr. Shakespeare wasn't eating the soap at all.
That's right, the mystery of why he had it on his plate while holding a fork in his hand is solved. Guy being... I think he always will be.
Yes, to press his latest ice coin out of its mold.
Okay, is that like... That's not how you spell mold. It would be M-O-L-D, so is that like a European thing? Because for me, it would be... There would be no U. Don't remember name. Iris? More tsundere men. Oh boy. Well, there's so many tsundere women in the world. You might as well go the other way around. The non-binary tsunderes and just keep going and going and going, and it will just keep going, and there'll be so many tsunderes that we all will probably lose our minds.
And in the process, he accidentally broke the bar of soap in two.
Didn't really get the fish and chip steals. I don't know. It's a British thing, so I don't know. I don't really like fish, so I haven't had fish in a while, so it just people like the taste. Do you? I know a lot of tsundere women in anime. Golly, way too freaking many tsundere women for me. Yeah, fish is definitely has an interesting taste. Tsundere IRL? Well, then he fits that. Because he's 44. How did you know? You're a bit of a son. Oh boy. Seals love fish. Huh. Well, good for the seals. It certainly was hard to imagine, let alone deduce. If you ran out of change, you wouldn't even have any light, let alone heat. For the needy, London's winters can be very harsh. I am me after all. So, boy.
That's true, but if you think about it, even the wealthy would find themselves freezing if they ran out of small change.
London's winters can be very harsh for the forgetful too, then. Frankly, I'm starting to wonder if Sasada-san and I are going to make it to spring. Well, you have a wood-burning, fireplace, so you're fine. That should last you. Not old. See how, now you see how it feels, Leo? Isn't it fun when people assume that you're old? Like I said, tsunderes are not my favorite, that's for sure. I guess the Ijosama ones are very funny. They can be very annoying, but they're definitely funny.
That's true, we don't even have a meter at Baker Street, let alone a gas stove.
You like tsunderes, I'm assuming, or kuderes, maybe. No, you probably like the Ijosama. Like, I can't... What is it? Himedari? You'd like the Himedari, I would guess. Look how dark the stain on the floor is underneath the meter there.
Yes, from all the water dripping out of the... after the ice coins melted, as you established in court this morning.
No, really? Not a Himedari? Hey, when you've been around the anime community a while, I know about kuderes, I know about tsuderes, I know about yanderes, I know about himedaris. What the heck is an Ijosama? The, you know the ones that put, like, the hand, and you know the anime character that typically has, like, twin drills, and will put a hand in front of their face and go, "Hoo, hoo, hoo, hoo." That's an Ijosama. That's what a himedari is. I've never heard of that. Yeah, the Ijosama is like, yeah, the oh ho 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 ho. Yeah, that. The Ijosama. I literally am just, you have to talk in their language. No, wait, that's one of my favorite tropes. Yeah, that's a himedari. Yeah, that's a Ijosama. Typically, they are called Ijosama. Which is, like, to explain, it's a rich young lady. That's all I can say. I'm surprised that's the type you hate the most. Rich and with blonde hair. sometimes blonde. I wouldn't say it's always blonde hair. It's more like twin. Like they always have like a drill hairstyle. More like JoJo. Yeah. It's a very big and obvious stain, isn't it?
Mr. Shamster must have used an awful lot of ice coins, I suppose.
What, you like the JoJo somewhat? I think you just like JoJo. It was an ingenious idea, I'll give him that. The sun never shines in this room, thanks to that depressing bricked-up window.
Yeah, with enough determination, you can always remove the bricks to set some soap outside, can't you?
That sounds like a very wise life lesson, Mrs. Sato.
Only if you plan to follow a life of crime, Mr. Naruto.
My life on it. Oh boy. Except Jigglypuff.
Are you looking for new clues, Inspector?
On Lord Van Zeke's orders, yeah. Don't come back till you get something for me, he says.
Oh dear, poor you.
Yeah, poor me, because we've already searched every leading nook and cranny in this place. I don't know what he expects, to be honest. Thank goodness for warm chips is all I can say. What an icon. Oh boy. Well, at least he's honest. Oh, so you're on the dealing with Van Zeke's duty, you poor soul. We still haven't used this piece of the letter. I don't know if there's anything else I really need to look at this place. I guess the cops. Let's see. Jessie and... Yes, Jessie did some... Yes, Jessie from Pokemon is a good example of an Ajosama. James is a sweetheart. The ill-fated teacups from which the two men drank on that ill-fated night.
During their heated literary debate, yes.
Who's stronger, Romeo or Juliet? It sounds like it was quite a discussion.
Now I think of it, I'm sure the two lovers in the play ended their lives with poison.
Yeah, the irony, ain't it? That's fiction, Mrs. Sato. Let's hope it stays that way. Well, since Suzeki-san is fine, my assumption is everything's good. They're not, they always make that pose, just he's always with the red hair. Yeah. Nothing. Nothing related to stage, so I guess we'll go see... I guess we'll go to the prison? Probably happened already. Oh boy. Oh well, Soseki-san's having a great time.
Oh, Mr. Natsume is back.
So he is, Mr. Natsume, hello. What is that face? I don't need another cat, I got too many in my chat. Sorry? Yeah, it probably is. I don't know who Mr. Natsume is. Or Herlock Schmalms. I don't know about courts or trials or Old Baileys. I am a cat. That is what I am. Just a cat. Yeah, he's gone.
Mr. Naruto, he's trying to escape from reality.
Trying to. He already has, completely. So, what is your name, then? As yet, I have no name.
Mr. Naruto, he hasn't fully thought out his new identity yet. Maybe it's not too late to bring him back to reality.
Oh my gosh, no. What the frick? No. Do you think you can open your eyes for us, Mr. Natsume? Please? There we go. I am not a cat.
It worked. He's back in the real world.
Why would you... Why? Why would they want to eat the floor? What's going to become of me? No! Don't answer that. It's obvious. My cursed soul, it's never going to escape this cursed fate.
Mr. Natsume, no. This morning's proceeding in court proved that there's hope.
It's like infinity stones. Not on purpose, it just happens. I'm gonna spin it and try to catch it in a cup. Oh my gosh, I wish you luck with that.
Yes, locum student, Mr. Naruto Esquire, was brilliant, but
the Reapers are omnipresent in court in my lodgings.
here, there, everywhere.
Oh my gosh. What the okay, you just... Why do you go to the extreme? Holy moly, you in this extreme. Golly. What's he looking straight at me for? I think perhaps there are some things we should discuss. Oh, yes, we must. I guess that is typical cat behavior, isn't it? This morning's trial. My whole life, have I ever been so moved as I was today? No! Of course, if I cast my mind back, there were perhaps one or two other occasions that moved me more. But if I just blocked those out, then today, being in that courtroom was the most moving experience of my life. Welcome, student Naruto Esquire. Yeah, it is a different era. You have to remember swords and wine and weapons could just be in the court. Like knives. Like one of the jurors had a knife. I guess not. You're too kind.
Scotland Yard found the remaining tea, just as we deduced, and analyzing it as we speak.
There's nothing wrong with that tea. They won't find a drop of poison in it. That's it. Sworn. Soseki. Certainty. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, we have someone with a knife, we have someone with the wine, we got someone with the sword, and then we've had someone with the weapon before, so you know, we got everything. We got everything. Tell me, did you both drink the tea at the same time that night? Yes, he did his poses. Oh yes, most definitely. Remember, drink tea while it's hot. But I don't know. Maybe you're in YouTube's good graces for now. Well, when are any of the JoJo characters completely sane? Just gonna be honest. We both poured it down our throats like it was a hot bath for our bellies.
And at that time, you were both completely fine.
As shown by the fact that he and Mr. Shamesphere then engaged in the Romeo and Juliet match. I suppose the focus of tomorrow's proceedings will be how the poison was taken by the victim, then. I think he needs some sanity. That rotten Shamesphere. What have I ever done to him? You don't recall him taking issue with you over anything you've done recently? Yep. I've been holed up in my room, immersed in books. I don't recall anything. Anything at all. Right. What I don't understand is why he won't let me know. Why didn't he let me know sooner?
Let you know what, Mr. Natsume?
About the soap, of course. What else?
Oh dear. Are you struggling with such a meager stipend?
Of course I am. If I had money, I wouldn't have chosen to live in a cursed existence in such accursed lodgings. Just woke up with abnormal. What? I'm going. What am I reading? I feel like I'm in a I was like, I did a double take on when I looked at that. I was like, what in the world are you? That can't be real. It's real. Oh my gosh. Wow, JoJo really went off the deep end again. But hey, guess the people are having fun with it. Oh yes, you said it's because the place is cursed and that it's so cheap, didn't you? Exactly, especially the room I rent. The spirit of that capital offender who lived there still haunts the place. And it's trying to kill me. Capital offender? Might I ask local student Mr. Naruto Esquire that next time you visit me, you bring scores of super soft soaps. Why soap? Like this soap?
Mr. Natsume, what do you know about this?
Choice of words, I guess. It's probably the choice of words. Ah! There it is! That lathery lowlife that took my neighbor's life and sent me sliding to the depths of despair. Slippery, sickly, psychotic. Sobater. You've really gone off soap, haven't you? Absolutely, and I've made up my mind. The next time someone gives me soap as a present, it's frigid, finished, forever. Why is this man so funny? I think that's the point. I'm worried. So he hasn't used soap. He needs soap. You need to have soap to be clean.
I don't know that we can blame soap for everything that's happened, Mr. Natsume.
Oh my Me and they should let him run the streets. Oh my god. What about this? Do you have anything to say about this? No? Okay. Well, cats are a little bit different. You like how crazy his dialogue is? Alright, how about this? Nope, you won't take this one either? Well, it was the teacup, so I thought I'd try. Well, I don't think cats like water much. Alright, anything on Briar Road? Nope, nothing there. Okay, I'll go to the Garib's room. Tweak. It makes sense. Well, some cats, I think some cats is not all cats. And obviously the cats I deal with don't like water, as we can see.
Mr. Garib seems to be out.
Oh well, I suppose we'll just have to come back again later. I don't think there's anything important in here, though. Is there? Nope, everything's still a mess. I don't know about that. I guess I go to Herlock Sholmes's residence. So I am not a cat.
Oh, Bruno and Susie, hooray, you're back! Hello, Iris. You're in fine spirits as always, I see. I am, and you look as immaculately presented as ever, Susie. Oh, you flatter me. Well, you couldn't have come at a better time. I've just made a pot of tea. I'll set some cups.
Well, after this case, I don't think I'd be wanting to drink tea for a while. In this game's context. Really? Thanks, Iris, but actually, what is that foul smell? Aha! The Wanderers returned at last. Where on earth have you been? We've been in court? Please, take a bath or a shower. Please. It really does look good on Susato. Yeah, I think the new outfits are really, really cool. Oh, for Mr. Mustache's case, that was today, wasn't it? Can know when. So then they make you leave their sense of oh, that's sweet and sad.
I'm sure I mentioned only yesterday, Mr. Slomes.
I'm sure you think you did. Well, we can laugh about it now. So tell me, how did the trial go? Reasonably well so far. We've managed to escape without a guilty verdict, at least. Well, that's similar to, like, dogs. I would think. Really, I would have liked to see it. And I must pass the time of day with Mr. Reaper again. It's been too long. Is Lord Van Zeek's an acquaintance, Mr. Slomes? Probably, sadly, for Van Zeek's side of the things. Naturally. There's not a person in the world who doesn't know my name, Mr. Naruto. Yes. Dogs be better. Yes, I think dogs are adorable. Not quite what I asked, but still.
Mr. Slomes, whatever is that odor?
Yes, what is it? It's faint, but absolutely awful. Ah, indeed. That is the scene of victory, my dear fellows. Victory in science. I don't want a raccoon. I think they're top in your mind because you're biased.
Oh dear.
Alright, I'll bite. What's he up to now? I'm scared. What did you do? Lord Van Zeeks. Lord Baron Von Zeeks. Brock Van Zeeks. Yes, he's an interesting sovereign, isn't he? He has, isn't? Oh my gosh. He is an interesting oh my, words. I swear, I have looked up more words from Herlock Sholmes than I have Sherlock Holmes. Which is... okay. This is friggin' ridiculous. Okay, this. Pronunciation.
Sobriquet.
What in the frickin' world? Say that.
Sobriquet.
Sobriquet? English.
Sobriquet.
The English language sometimes. Lord Baroque Van Zeeks, it is indeed a sobriquet. This word. A name given to someone or something that is not their or its real name or official name. Oh, you're talking about this name. Yeah, how is it pronounced in French? Is what it says. Is it a French word? Yes, it is. Huh. What, bourgeoisie? Bourgeoisie? Probably not saying it completely correctly, but I know what that is. Sobriquet.
Sobriquet.
Yep. Okay. Let's try that for a third time. Lord Baroque Van Zeeks. Yes, he's an interesting sobriquet he has, isn't it? The Reaper of the Bailey. You're saying bourgeoisie quite well. I read, what is it? The friggin' one book about the French Revolution, and I've literally heard about the bourgeoisie so many times. Weirdly enough, that's another word that I have heard very commonly. Yeah, middle class. Yes. Well, yeah, it's the middle class slash the not 1%. It is very much isn't. It is the common man. It's rich to very rich. Huh. It's top class. Oh yeah, bourgeoisie is the opposite. Excuse me. It's the, oh my gosh, what is it? I forget what the other one's called. It's the common man versus, like, yeah, the bourgeoisie was used, they're like the, yeah, they're the rich people, or you could use literally lady and, but let them eat cake is a good example. Was part of the bourgeoisie, I'm pretty sure. Lady Antoinette. And we saw how well that went for her. Oh boy! Can't believe that's how that, but you did very well. Yeah. It sounds like a bunch of mixing of letters, but I don't know if that's just because English sometimes squishes words together. Once the legendary prosecutor has fought for someone's conviction, that person is doomed. Even if he or she is found guilty by the courts, sooner or later the hapless soul will vanish from the capital. But vanish how, exactly? By falling under a passing carriage or drowning in the themes? Themes? Is it always these words? Or succumbing to a sudden fever, or quite out of the blue being set upon by a highwayman. There are numerous routes to one's final terminus, my dear fellow. It all seems a little far-fetched, really. Well, we've seen what happened to, Magnus McGill, so we know how well... Well, he was just... It wasn't even, the Reaper. It was someone's revenge for his father, so I don't know. Is that technically the Reaper of the Bailey? Yeah, you're probably thinking of something else. Like, golly. I will say, if people just have this bad luck, they probably committed crimes of separate occasions, so they just end up getting caught. Or really, 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 really unlucky. Well, on the bright side, Mr. Mustache is fighting fit, for the time being at least. That's not overly reassuring.
If the rumors are true, though, the obvious conclusion would surely be that those acquitted are, well, by Lord Van Zeek's own hand.
As it happens, Mr. Sato, that is quite impossible.
Oh? Why?
Naturally, the man very quickly came under such suspicion. However, whenever these incidents occurred, the Reaper always had a cast-iron alibi. Huh. Really? And so his reign continued, but 5 years ago, he vanished from the courts, never to appear as a prosecutor again. That is, until you arrived in the country, Mr. Naruto. Was he supposed to meet Kazuma? He's been gone for 5 years, and he coincidentally comes out for this particular case. Was he supposed to meet Kazuma? Was this who Kazuma was talking about? That he had something to do? It's weird when someone has too many solid alibis. It is very suspicious. But yeah, I'm wondering if Kazuma was supposed to meet Van Zeeks. Yeah, so I've heard. In fact, it was the very day I arrived when I was thrusted into that trial at the Old Bailey. The bitter fight to the death coincided with the Reaper's resurrection. And really did end bitterly, indeed. And here you are, facing Mr. Reaper again.
Poor Bruno. I don't know if you're just incredibly unlucky or incredibly unlikable.
The 10-year-old strikes again. I think he goes deeper than just me. I sense a general loathing of all Japanese people. Foul smell. So what is that indescribably foul smell? Well, most probably this, I would say. Oh no, another vial. What's this? You freaking got injured from your own vial before. What is this? Even though that's later in the story, but you know. Plus, this is the second time we've seen a vial from him. And it didn't end well last time. What is that? My dear fellow, it is of course my latest invention. Oh no, a chemical test that can identify whether or not a tea is a genuine at the drop of some tea. Huh?
Oh my.
There are some oh boy. Well, that's a little bit... It's weird, but actually not the craziest thing that he has said so far. There are some unscrupulous sorts manning the stalls along some of London's less frequented streets. They regularly sell what purports to be high-quality tea, but in fact merely dyes leaves of drab flavor. Well, that's certainly unsavory behavior. Yeah, we have... Yeah, there's been crazier things. So, when one is presented with what appears to be black tea, one must be careful. Iris?
At the ready, Hurley.
Let us add a drop of my chemical to this cup of tea here. Do you see what happens? I'm gonna say... What the frick? It turned completely black.
What a foul odor it's giving off.
Indeed, the blacker the tea becomes, and the more foul the odor, the better the tea is. Huh? So, the darker the tea becomes once you spray it, or drop the thing in, it smells worse. So didn't you just ruin that cup of tea then? Because it smells horrendous if it is actually good tea, but then bad tea would smell better? I mean, I haven't timed natural out today. It would appear that this cup was a particularly fine Darjeeling. That's very ingenious. But what do you do with that black liquid now? So please don't. I hope not. Why dispose of it, naturally? Surely you wouldn't like to drink it, would you? No, I would not. Oh no.
There does seem to be a rather obvious problem with your new invention, Mr. Slomes.
Why? Leave the river alone. Hence why this chemical test is merely a test, my dear madam. Right. Huh. So the point is that they've been testing so much that the smell has just completely become overwhelming. The point is we are entering a new era of science. In the world of criminal investigation also.
Yes, forensic science. Oh, these are such exciting times.
Their minds are going to be blown if they saw what Phoenix is using for forensic science. Their minds would explode. It'd be like, what? Magic. I regularly engage in the scientific experimentation alongside my unofficial consulting detective work. The Sherlock-Holmes method will be the foundation upon which modern investigative technique is based. I would not be surprised if the one lady who's obsessed with forensic science is related to Herlock over here. This little tea indicant was a happy byproduct of my ongoing forensic science research. Oh, that makes more sense. Forensic science? I suppose I should find out more about that. With Mr. Natsume, who I am currently defending, being Japanese as well, and as Miss Sosato and myself, I felt it even more keenly in court today. For some reason, Lord Van Zeek seems to have an inherent disdain of the Japanese. Indeed. It's an interesting observation.
Do you know something about it? Do you, Mr. Slomes?
Yeah, why does he have an inherent bias against them? What have they... These... Like, I would understand getting mad at, like, Ryunosuke for, you know, kicking your butt in court multiple times now. Like, you know, having a little bit of grudge, but what have they... Why? It was about 10 years ago that Brooke Van Zeek chose to enter the legal profession. However, before that time, the young man's closest companion hailed from the Empire of Japan. Classic British behavior, though. Probable. I'm not surprised by... And especially during a time period where people would not see people from the East as equals during a time for a long time. But okay, so he had a companion that was from Japan. And I guess he got burned by that companion, so then he just decided to be mean to all the Japanese people that he meets. They might not be related to the man. Why are you giving them problems? You can have beef with the guy that gave you beef. Not the ones who did nothing to you. They just exist.
No.
What the? Tell us more, Mr. Slomes. What happened? You're not gonna tell us, are you? I believe I've made it clear before. I'm unable to tell you anything about the affair. Is this also connected to Dr. Wilson and the Bakersville's novel? Is that also related? I wonder if that's a connection.
Oh, but...
He's meaning the guy that... Yeah, he really is. The veil will be lifted on the events of the past in due course, I have no doubt. For now, however, It is Mr. Mustache who is the most observing of your attention, I believe. Mr. Slomes is very conniving. Pushes us to think about something else. Huh. Bakersvilles? Baskersvilles? Baskervilles? I think Bakers. I guess I missed the S. So your T-test, is that an example of forensic science? Indeed it is. An essential tool in cases that hinge on the knowledge of whether tea is of high or inferior quality. Not a huge number of cases, then. Perhaps a more practical example is required. Fingerprints? Not yet accepted in our courts as evidence, I might add. Really, we are dragging our heels here. I hadn't even heard of them until recently. Yeah, that's such a weird thing to think about, is fingerprints not being used. They don't use fingerprints too often in Ace Attorney-related stuff. Unless you're dealing with the one girl from the police department. Which is wild. Which is partly why I undertake research in this field myself, of course.
Does that mean you're studying fingerprints, Mr. Slomes?
There are others in that field already, and I abhor the company of inferior minds. What? What do you mean? So you're doing the same thing, but they're quote-unquote inferior? What are you talking about? But yes, hello. Yes? No, what I'm researching is skin prints. Skin prints? Nomenclature? What the f... I told you. Herlock is the one that I'm literally getting these words that I have never seen before. What is... pronunciation.
Nomenclature.
What in the world? Will you do the flower challenge? Yes, that's one of the things I'm going to do the next time I stream Hollow Knight. That's going to be what I'm going to be doing.
Nomenclature.
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 Yep. Nomenclature of my own design, as it is this chemical agent that makes it possible. Yeah, I'm using Google. How do you think I get these words? I looked at that, I'm like, what in the world is that word? It instantly reveals objects touched by whichever person is under investigation.
Brilliant, Mr. Slomes.
As long as it doesn't turn everything completely odorous and black. Like, so it's connected to the T. So how does you get the finger... I need to figure out. So the T is a prerequisite of testing. It reveals objects touched by whichever person is under investigation. So does that mean it's going to... Yeah. Yes, I am an alien author, thank you very much. And just because I am an author doesn't mean I know all the weird words that are used during the 18th, 19th century. As a gift last year, probably. So the T, so is he trying to make, like, an ink that, like, a black ink that pops up on objects, I guess? It's almost like a prerequisite of the powder in modern day? I assure you, my dear fellows, you will witness my forensic talents in action very soon indeed. Oh. I have never seen that word in my entire life. And I guess whatever elementary school you went to really was advanced. Well, I think we should go back to the scene and see if we can uncover any new clues.
The spirit, Bruno?
What the frick? No, it is not.
See you later.
Yes, I did. That was never used. See? The French person agrees with me. See? Yes, until later. No, Mr. Slums. We were thinking to come with us. You were? Yes, of course. You said just a moment ago. It's all so French. Okay, does the French language really like long words? Is my question. Does the language like really long words? Because I feel that is a thing. Kinda. Okay, it's a name. Really? They could've... Wow, Herlock, you could have just used the term name. Constitution element. What the I can... That looks like you put like 3 words together. Why is that a word? Why is that a word? You said we'd witness your forensic talent in action. Ah, yes, I do recall saying something along those lines. But you go ahead. I shall be sure to follow you later. In all likelihood. Probably. Maybe. Well, I might. He's doing a spell. It looks like one. Your commitment astounds me.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Slums. We'd eagerly await your arrival.
That goes against something constitutional in nature. Well, the first part makes... And that I can see why that makes sense for that definition. But golly... It just seems... such a weird way to go about it.
Bye-bye, Bruno. Bye, Susie.
Alright. Away we go. I guess we'll go back to Shakespeare's room. Huh, I wonder, where could he be? Herlock! Herlock! Where could you be, buddy? I don't see you. Oh, there you are, buddy. You actually aren't hiding for once. Ignore him. Oh boy, I can't. That's how I progress. Mr. Slums, what are you up to over there? Quite a question indeed. Was it not your good self who asked me to attend the scene? Well, yeah, I know German has a lot of long words. I just haven't encountered too many German words. Weirdly enough, I've encountered a lot of French words in this game. When we're in London, which, you know, is nearby. You know, England is nearby France in a way, so it kind of makes sense. But it's a little funny how often I'm dealing with some French words. Boy, what are you doing here, Slomes? What are you up to over there? What are you doing here? Dear me, once a great detective, one is always under scrutiny, it seems. Love-hate relationship. I guess so. I guess so. Forever and eternity.
Is now the time, Mr. Slums? Are you about to show us your forensic talents in action as you promised?
Oh boy. With the greatest of pleasure, my dear madam. A word for more than a century once. I know, I'm saying forever and eternity. It creates plots. It creates history, that's for sure. Huh, well, it's not... That one surprised me. A lot of people from Europe came over to the US, so... There's lots of... You're gonna find lots of different communities in different areas, weirdly, and that you would think, huh, why here of all places? But it's interesting. Why are you saying hello? You have already said hello. Okay, guys. I don't know the rest of it. I'm like, I know bonjour means hello, and that's about all I know. I'm assuming that is. What's all this? Oh boy. Oh, this is precisely what you requested, Mr. Naruto. Oh my gosh. He brought the weapon. I mean, hello, my friend. Huh. Oh, the frickin' Herlock's sensational skin print seeker weapon. It's not Ormond. Well, here's the thing. Things can change through generations, so it might have just got slightly changed with English. By accident, that can happen. Moments ago, I took a sample from the teacup that was used by the victim. A sample from Mr. Shakespeare's cup? Each individual leaves microscopic secretations on everything he or she touches. A sample of those secretions is all I need to produce this refined indicator solution. By liberally spraying the room with this chemical, everything the victim touched is instantly revealed with the aid of these goggles. Here, try them on. It would be hilarious that an American song sang in French had spelled mistakes in it. It wouldn't surprise me. It's the same logic as when you change, like, English to a different language and sometimes things don't quite make sense. So usually not the exact same. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think there's, depending on where you are in the world, things are slightly changed. It's the same thought as English, where British English, American English, and Australian English all don't quite mean the same thing. We get to try on Herlock's goggles. There, now spray the chemical indicator about, and all will be revealed. Spray, how do I do that exactly? It'll place a space on the area you're interested in is all that is required, like this. French from the islands, huh? What is that stuff? It's like fog. Suspension of the chemical indicator in a pressurized gas is the most efficient way to cover a large area. Very cool places. That was another invention I discovered incidentally whilst I was developing this idea. As you do. Go ahead, try it, my dear fellow. We may learn something interesting about the victim's movements on the night in question. Well, there's nothing to lose, I suppose. Let's explore. Do I? Hang on. Oh, I'm over here. Oh no, apprentice. That can happen. Learning another language is difficult. Wow, why is the... Spray. Oh my gosh, if this didn't look like a crime scene before, look at all these. Ew. What? Okay, I don't know what I'm supposed to deem suspicious. Oh, what the frick? Look, there's a dozens of handprints here. So there are many, great indeed. So much that it's hard to make out any one individual print, in fact.
Brr, it sends a chill down my spine.
Perhaps he was leaning against the wall while he was admiring this picture? On both sides? Was he copy-donning the painting? Unlikely, I would say. It's a rather dull scene, after all.
And without wishing to state the obvious, you wouldn't generally admire a picture from such close quarters, I feel.
Oh, good for you! Good job, good job. Oh, very true, Mr. Sato. It's a bit of a mystery, then. Okay. Do I have to keep spraying? Like, am I supposed to find something else weird? Oh my gosh, guys. You guys go to the weirdest assumptions of things. Like, I don't quite. Like, am I supposed to... Nothing. Have I sprayed enough now? Can I leave? Can I spray this? No. How do I... Like, have I missed something? Like, there's only so many areas here that I can... Can I be free now? I've sprayed the table. Look, I've sprayed it so many times. And I've sprayed the chair. Sprayed here, here, here. And literally going... Well, I didn't even observe anything. I just sprayed over here. See? And it just made this happen. So... Here? I'm like, there's actually weirdly less prints on this thing than you would think. Huh. But yeah, I'm missing something. Like, what am I missing? Pray for an immortal, oh my gosh. Oh, there we go, found it. Oh look, it's at all this here. Ah yes, interesting. A multitude of the victim's handprints on the floor of all things.
Why are there so many of them on the floor in this one spot?
Oh, perhaps he had a bad fall just here? There's nothing
obvious that he would have tripped over, though. Is there?
I wonder. Personally, I often stumble when there's nothing obvious to trip over.
I think there's something only a great detective would do, Mr. Slomes.
Well, this is quite a puzzle. Handprints are all over the floor. Yes, there's no obvious explanation. Are we good now? Yep, that's what we needed. Well, it looks like a loose board.
Well, we sprayed Mr. Slomes' amazing skin print indicator all over this room, didn't we?
Oh, my goodness.
We did, but there are two places in particular that are of interest, I would say.
Yeah, this? The handprint on the floor here. And on the wall by the picture, you mean?
Yes, and I think the floor warrants another investigation. Closer investigation. I won't be a moment.
Well, it looks like a loose floorboard.
Huh?
What is it, Mrs. Sato?
Look here, Mr. Naruto. One of the floorboards has popped out.
What of the... you mean... it's a secret hiding place? Excellent work, Mr. Sato. So what do we have in there? Oi! What are you doing? Inspector Gregson. Stand aside right this minute. It's my job to investigate there. Poor guy. Really, he's like, I want to do my job. No need, Inspector. You choose to dig into your portion of chips, whilst we dig around under the floor here. Your fancy talk ain't putting me off my food anyways. It's putting me off my food anyway, Slomes. A new bit of evidence is exactly what I need. Wow, a secret hiding place under the floor. What a find.
It's not a hiding place you can make use of in Japan. I don't think I could lift a straw up to Tommy, Matt.
No, I know, but I never expected one of these wooden floorboards to move either. Well, if it's old enough and everything is kind of like in disrepair, why would anyone think any different about it? Probably way too freaking much. Got me wondering about the wall over there too. Aren't you curious?
Oh. I'll investigate it once. There's nothing behind the picture, sadly. Only the wall.
You can have enough salt. How disappointing. But then, how do you explain the handprints? I'm assuming it's the red gem that I saw up here that I was like, what is this? Like, there's just a red gem or something hanging out right here.
I really can't think why anyone would have been touching the wall over and over in one place like that.
Someone took a photo. There you are, a print for you. Traces of the handprints on the wall discovered using the skin print seeker weapon. There are multiple prints on either side of a hanging picture. Oh, thank you very much. This invention can make prints too. Now then, I wonder if Inspector Gregson has found anything under the floor there. I'm desperate to know.
So am I.
Can they read Ryunosuke's mind? Hi, you figured anything out, Gregson? Buddy? Since you were so excited about this? I'd love to know if there's anything hidden underneath the floorboard there. Allow me to ask Gregson now. After all, we're well acquainted. This is gonna go swimmingly. You can have enough. You should not have a lot of salt. Golly. Inspector Gregson! Really, it's been too long. What is it, Slomes? I thought perhaps you might show me what you found there, seeing as we're such good friends. We're not friends. No, I suppose not. Oh, that's kind of sad. A dismal failure. Yes, I heard. Ugh. I don't know what was under that floorboard. That's just sad. Alright then. There's fair. What? We did discover the hiding place after all. Suppose I should at least fill you in. And excuse me for cooking me super. What the frick? You should not have a lot of salt on food, is what I'm talking about. Really, Inspector? Thank you. Do it quickly, my dear fellow. There's one thing I know about this man. It's that he blows with the wind, as fickle as the weather. Shush, Slomes. You're quite, yes, in trouble. Boy, stop making me out to be some kind of nut. There were 3 items under the floor there. A newspaper clipping, a photographic print, and a tin box. Now, what do you want to know? All the above. Newspaper clipping. Looks like this was cut out of the paper about 3 months ago. It's about a convict who got sick and died while he was serving time up in Manchester. How terrible. It's made the headlines down there in London as well. The bloke had been sentenced to death, you see, but nature got him first.
Oh my goodness. He committed a capital offense?
Man by the name of Selden. Nasty piece of work, into burglaries and murder. They say the hoard he took off was worth about £1,000. A hoard? Of treasure, I mean? Jewelry and the like. But he hid it somewhere and no one knows where. Now he's dead. Papers loved it, of course. £1,000 lost en route to heck. Or some such was the line. Does it not strike you, though? Why such an article would be so carefully ensconced under the floor? Well, it means it's connected to the case somehow. Yeah. Suppose now you mention it, it does seem a bit odd. Perhaps I'll go over the paperwork we've got in Selden back at the yard and we'll see if I can turn anything up. The capital offender article has been entered in the court record. Criminal, however, he died of illness in prison whilst his loot remained undiscovered. Next, photograph or print. Is that... Okay, wait. That's the boy. I swear that's the boy in the painting of Miss Green. That Miss Green had a painting of this boy. Is this the Garib family's son? Did they have a kid? So this is the photograph I found. Looks reasonably recent to me. Yeah, it's Sam. Yes, it would appear to have been taken on the street in front of the house here.
And the gentleman on the left is Mr. Garib, the landlord, of course.
But who's the young man on the right? Mr. Garib's son, perhaps? No. Not, at least not that we know of. No, Green here had a painting or a picture of this guy. When in her hospital room, she had a picture or a painting of this boy. So the question is, what is her connection to this boy who is connected to the Garibs? Her brother, then? Why would it be her brother, though? Why wouldn't she be in the picture, then? And how is she connected to the Garibs? Perhaps. You could take that print if you like. Really? Are you sure? We can presume, therefore, that the yard already knows. The identity of the young fellow, that is. Is that true? Well, it's too bad if we do. Fortunately for you lot, leaking information isn't one of my pastimes. My dear Inspector, if I may be so bold as to point something out. Pastimes are for one's leisure, but this is for work. All the more reason I'm not telling you. A dismal failure. Yes, I heard. Her dad? Like, it's a recent picture, though, so how can it be her dad if she's 20 years old? He don't look that much older than her. Wonder why a photograph like this was hidden under the floor. I mean, Mr. Shakespeare himself isn't in it. Photographic prints are still rare treasures in the East End. I imagine Mr. Garib was rather delighted to have been immortalized. He probably made a proud present of it. Tin box. Now this tin box looks interesting, doesn't it? Might I suggest, Inspector, that you open it? If you were to find something inside that reveals the truth behind this case, I wouldn't be in the least surprised. Yeah, funnily enough, I've already had a look. It's completely empty. What? Shakespeare, give us a clue, man. She grew up fast. I think you're grasping at straws here.
You didn't even have the chance to utter a word, Mr. Naruto. Anyway, at least we found out what's inside the box.
Yes, thin air. It's empty. Other like how I feel inside. If there's nothing more, is there nothing more to this box? Then I wonder. Oh, the cat's here. Hello. Hey, buddy.
Oh, look, it's the little kitty cat. What was its name?
It's Mr. Natsume's, isn't it? I don't think we ever asked him, actually. Why don't we call it, Wagai? You know, like Mr. Natsume refers to himself in Japanese? I don't know. I have no idea what you've done. Wonder how he got in there. Here. Clever cat.
Oh, wonderful. Well then, Mr. Wagai. Here's something delicious I bought for you from the cat's meat man.
Yeah, how did you get here? Is there, like, a passageway behind the thing? That's unusual. Now someone's asleep.
He couldn't be happier now. Look.
I just hope he can bring some happiness to his owner, too. You should study for it, because it's important. If you want to be able to fly the plane, since you love planes so much, you should study. So study. It sucks, but it's better to do it. And get it over with so you don't have to do it again. Aw. Stretch, stretch. Yeah, but if you need to test this for your degree, you're not gonna be able to fly if you don't pass it. I got it mixed up because of the English influence on I did in America, I pronounced it. Ah. No, you should not. No. That was a cheeky little meow, Wagai.
Oh, but he's so adorable. I could sit and watch him forever.
I think you may not appreciate that after a while. And we have an investigation to get back to. But how did he get here? Oh, I do want to save so far because we got a lot of information. Cart record. Wow. Okay, that's the magnifying glass. Manchester's Strange Ways Prison announced the death of convicted murderer and burglar Selden by natural causes in the early hours this morning. He had been suffering with a fever since the end of October. Alerted by the shouts of his fellow cellmate, medical staff arrived to find him already dead before his capital punishment could be carried out. Well, that's cool. This is just magnifying glass. Okay, what do I do from here then? Oh my gosh. Well, you say you have to study, so obviously you need to study. Oh my gosh. Alright. Maybe if I click this again, does it have any information? Okay, this is the same thing I read before. Yes. Wow. To have 9 charm. That's wild. LP's not back. That blows my brain to explosion. Like 5 out of 10 is a pass. Holy. Do you know this? Nope. Okay. Alright, how about this? Oh. What's this? What's this? It's a newspaper cutting that we found in Mr. Shamspeare's room. Yeah. Well, yeah, that would be... Yeah, that's some... Oh my gosh. Ah, so he knew. Did he? Sorry? About this man, Selden. Huh. It's a 6? Huh. Look at Victor Killer and the evil spirit behind the curse that afflicts my lodgings. Oh, I think I figured it out. So he was trying to get rid of Sozeki to then look inside Sozeki's room to see if he could find the treasure of Selden. New classes, which is all the classes most people take, yeah. Sorry, taking one man's life, and now he's trying to take the life of another. A miserable, mustache, much maligned Japanese man. Mr. Matsume, if you know something, please, you must tell us. Tell us everything you know about this evil spirit. Capital offender, Selden. The truth is, I didn't know the details myself until very recently. Maligned? Like I said, Mawan? To pronounce words now? Oh, welcome back. Bye. I'll look up the word. Did I say it right? Evil in nature.
Maligned.
Wow, I did say it right. So I did say it was right. Maligned. Aha! I did say it right. No, it's called the game has made me look up different words. Is the department manager doesn't even control it, just a loan transfer which they were supposed to say decides individually. Yeah, that's a whole thing that we are not going to get into today. That Selden man was arrested about a year ago now, and at the time he was hiding out in lodgings at Mr. Garib's house. Wait, now that I think about it, I want to see the picture of this guy. What, he lived where you do now? That's right, yes. Exactly where I live now. In my very room. Huh? Oh my... Oh my gosh, we're not doing this. You what? Oh boy.
Oh my, your room was previously occupied by a criminal found guilty of a capital offense?
But before his sentence could be carried out, he died in prison. That was 3 months ago now. And that's when it started. The curse.
What is this? What really is this curse you keep mentioning, Mr. Natsume?
It's already caused one death. A few months after the criminal passed away in prison. A man died in the room. The man who rented it after him sold it, in fact. The poor lodger. He was found dead in his mysterious circumstances. The room was locked from the inside. Locked from the inside? Exactly like the case we're dealing with now. So, that's the convict's curse, is it? Wait, are you... Yeah, so you're telling me... Wait, I have a theory. I have a theory right now, and this may be random and a long shot. But is Shakespeare killing off anybody who lives in Sheldon's room so that he can get access to it for the... to try to search for the money, but every time Guri puts it up for sale too quickly where he can't search the room? That's my theory. Yes, well, that was the start of it. The convict's curse.
Do you have any idea how the lodger before you passed away, Mr. Natsume?
The official cause of death was asphyxia? Asphyxia? Is that like asphyxiation? And there's a secret passage that connects the two rooms? Yes, I think so, because the cat was able to go over the little stage. Because remember, this is one house that has been put into different rooms for people to stay in. You mean by spreading rumors and now trying to get Sasaki out of prison? Well, one guy already died. Like, someone died in this room. Whether it was by accident or not, I don't know. The lack of oxygen. Yeah, so I was right. Asphyxiation. Haha, I got it right. Yes. When they discovered the body, the room was full of gas. Gas? I only found that out after I signed the lease. When Mr. Garib came to tell me later, I couldn't stop myself trembling. In fact, if I'd known beforehand, I'd probably have been too scared to take the room. Landlord's lease, luckily, legal. Luckily for Mr. Garib, maybe, but not so lucky for poor Mr. Natsume. And now you believe this curse is affecting you? It is, at first. I just felt as though I was being watched. All the time. So yeah, see, if there's a secret room connecting them, then he can... I don't know where he's looking in through the room, but he's staring at him. So he's making, you know, trying to make this curse thing work. Would make sense. And then you talked about having nightmares, didn't you? The dead are trying to take me with them. They're coming for me and trying to suffocate me. See? Asphyxiation for the previous tenant, and he feels like someone's trying to suffocate him in his sleep. Weird coincidence. And just when I'm struggling to breathe, I wake up. In the room. It's as cold as ice.
But Why is your room so cold?
London winters are too cold to bear without any heating overnight. But for some reason, even though I light the stove before I climb into bed at night, the pilot light always goes out and the room fills with gas. After he becomes a criminal, how classic. Oh boy. Is it a gas leak? Maybe. But that's terrible. That's exactly the same situation as what led to the previous occupant's death. And then there's what happened to Shakespeare last night, when he was mysteriously poisoned. There's clearly more to that incident than can be explained by a curse, though.
Whatever can be the cause of all these strange happenings in Mr. Graves' rooms?
It's very weird. But yeah, that's my hypothesis, at least. Okay, we're gonna go see if Mr. Garib's in his room. Because I have some questions. He's back! Why would I do that? I would not. No, thank you. Oh, you're here now, Mr. Garib. Right, poorly business it is for me, you know? Getting out and about. Were you at the Old Bailey by any chance? Naturally, fate of my lodgings hanging in the balance and all that. Not a trial to miss. Fate of what's already been dubbed your haunting lodgings. Yes. Of course, the place has caused quite a stir around the capital on more than one occasion already. As the old haunted lodgings, or some such. Ah, well, at least he knows. Makes you wonder what the blazes is going on, don't you know?
Yes, I'm sure it does. In fact, thinking back to Mr. Natsume's other trial just 2 days ago, you were at the Old Bailey then as well, weren't you? Testifying with your wife about what happened.
Stopping off at the prison on the way home, in fact. Beastly business. I see. So, what brings you to my haunted abode today, eh? Questions. I have questions. Your lodgings. Some fishy fellow from the Far East and a failed actor chap of questionable character, huh? Yes, the house does seem to have become something of a magnet for rum fellows of late. Thanks to that bally curse. The convict's curse, you mean? You heard the stories, have you? Rotten scoundrel was arrested here, then the next chap in the room goes and keels over. Then there was that woman who dropped dead just outside on the street, not to mention the actor yesterday. Yeah, you're it's not helping the place, I will say that. No, the lady didn't die. And neither did the actor. Am I next, huh? Well, can't help but get the collywobblies, can you?
When you say the woman who dropped dead outside the street, do you mean Miss Green?
Because Miss Green, who was stabbed by the knife, and Mr. Shakespeare, who was poisoned last night, are both very much alive still. Yes, well, so this is that blessed convict's curse, it seems. Wait a minute. I just connected something in my brain. Was this the previous tenant? Was this the tenant that died from the gas leak? I'd believe that. Yes, well, so is that blasted convict's curse, it seems. Personally, I should be quite content with such lodgings. A bath, a toilet, a fireplace, fascinating history. Why? Sounds like the lap of luxury. I'm not so sure about that. Well, there's no bath or toilet included and no fireplace either. I don't want to know. 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 But you do look out for your tenants, don't you? By watching the rise and fall of the flames in your gas lamps up there. Yes, never hurts to keep an eye on things, in case there are any mishaps or such like. I think you have your mishaps already, sir. That's not helpful, Mr. Slomes. Heavens, forgive me. The words just came to my lips. Your lodgers. Some fishy fellow from the Far East and a failed actor of questionable character, huh? There's no need for that, Mr. Grebe.
That's right, Mr. Natsume is in no way fishy.
He's undeniably peculiar, however. Isn't it right that he took the vacancy immediately after the previous tenant passed away? Yes, that's right. I asked the estate agent to find someone and he popped up the very same day. Never come across a chap so keen for a place with a background, as it were. I don't think it was the room's background he was keen on so much as the cheap rent, actually. Because, you know, makes sense.
So, how long has Mr. Shakespeare been lodging under your roof?
That failed actor chap? Let me see. Oh, of course. Yes, it's been 3 months now. Quite sure of it. What a weird coincidence. 3 months. 3 months? It's been 3 months since the one guy, flown the coop, as they say. Only 3 months. He's quite new here, too, then. And to what do you owe your certainty in that regard, Mr. Grebe, if I might ask? Well, it was the Selden scoundrel, as it happens. Selden? The convict, you mean? Do Selden and Shakespeare have some kind of connection, then? Shakespeare's tenancy. That convict chap, Sheldon, passed away in the clink 3 months ago now, you see? Some Melody or other.
Yes, we've seen the report from the newspaper at the time.
Well, it was only 3 days later that the tragedian showed his face, the actor fellow. Really? Yes, I remember it quite distinctly.
'Tis small, this world we inhabit. Prithee, landlord, hear my request. I, the humble Shakespeare, do desire to take thy room on the middle floor, offered where while for rent. Terribly sorry and whatnot, but that won't be possible. I already have a lodger on the middle floor. Ground floor room's vacant, though. Nothing can be made of nothing. Let me repeat mine will unto thee.
Those curtains must be muffling your ears. The room on the middle floor is taken. It's ground floor, nothing. Yeah, so wow, he really wanted the middle room where the convict was.
Very well, we have an accord.
Glad to hear it. Welcome to Bar Road. Oh my gosh, the jump again.
Oh, a Shakespeare dance to celebrate.
From what I heard in court today, sounds like the chap was thieving gas. And he was 3 months in arrears with the rent, too. Yes, the fellow was a bally player, alright? Thank you for your condor, Mr. Reeb. We are most grateful. By way of appreciation, allow me to say 1 or 2 words. Give me my robe. Put on my crown. I have immortal lodgings in me. The second sentence. Yeah, I wouldn't blame you, but obviously the guy was desperate for a tenant. You know? What's happening to you? Shakespeare, my dear fellow, one of his most famous lines. Is it? Give me my robe, put on my crown. I have immortal lodgings in me. I don't think I've heard that one. I wish to divulge my own learning of this subject, for I have had a turn for literature too, you know. Perhaps you could turn your attention to more adept lines then. Okay, percent. Mr. Garib, could I ask you to look at this photograph? Is that your son who's with you there? No, not at all. He was a lodger here once. Duncan Ross was his name. Duncan Ross? Street photographer happened to be passing, so I asked him to take a shot just for kicks, really. Huh.
Was he by any chance the lodger before Mr. Natsume?
Yes, that's right. Oh no! Was he... He was either the brother of Miss Green or the boyfriend of Miss Green. Which makes this even sadder. The young gentleman who died in the room in mysterious circumstances. Just what Mr. Mustache was waiting for, one might say. Yes, young Duncan lived in the room at the top of the first flight of stairs before that Japanese chap. Would you mind telling us a little more about him? The lodger's death. Yes, Duncan Ross, young chap, was attending art school. Had to work to pay for it, mind. Moved into the middle floor room about a year ago, after that criminal Selden was arrested. Young students are always on the hunt for rooms with a history behind them. I don't know. Boss? I don't think it's that. It said asphyxiation, so lack of air. History of cheap rent, maybe, yes. Yes, well, anyway, it was one morning about a month ago now. Hadn't quite worked out the old trick of watching the gas lamps to see what lodgers are up to at the time. Sadly, I was rather tardy to discover what had happened. Smell of gas that alerted me, it was. Oh, yes, synonymous with the smell of death. Called the police straight away, of course, and the officer kicked the door off its hinges. But once we got inside, we all bawley collapsed. Because of the gas? Yeah, this room was full of it. No air at all. Stuff must have gone out when the poor chap was sleeping in his bed. So Mr. Ross suffocated to death. Of course, the police gave a sounding ticking off because the gas pipes were so old and all that. Can't tell you how much it set me back to have the lot replaced all over the house. But even after you had all that work done, Mr. Natsume says the same thing. That the stove goes out at night whilst he's sleeping asleep in his bed. That's the bawling curse, the convict's curse. I've done my duty as a landlord now. Someone's feeling defensive? That reminds me, actually. Yes? About young Duncan, the night before the poor chap perished. He'd been writing a letter of affection to a young lady. Oh, no! I was right, no! Not trying to cut corners at a technical expense. But poor Miss Olive Green. Gosh dang it. Poor lady thinks she has poor bad luck. Her boyfriend died a month ago and then she gets stabbed in the back 2 days ago. So a month ago, this is sad. This is like the Maya of the great Ace Attorney.
A love letter, you mean?
Yes, where did I put it now? Here it is. Left it on my desk. If you'll excuse me, let me see now. What does it say? To my most beautiful and charming sweetheart.
Do you think that we should be reading such a personal piece of correspondence?
My dear Mr. Sato, this is precisely why I prefaced my reading with, if you'll excuse me. Well, we don't know if she's rich, that's the thing. I have no idea. Maybe she's in a cheap lodgings as well. We have no idea. I just feel bad for her. She's only 20 and dealing with all this crap.
I will not excuse you, Mr. Slomes, no.
Sadly, you didn't address it, though. So I have no means of delivering the thing. Rather sad, really. Aw, Mr. Garib was trying to give it to her. Same time, that wasn't a cheap life. Yeah, it wasn't. But Duncan Ross, the one who died, also was an artist. A photographer, or not a photographer, an artist as well, so... And he lived here. So what do you mean? I see. That's going to play on my mind.
But really, the identity of Mr. Ross's sweetheart has no bearing on the case.
Oh, it actually does.
I think we should leave well alone.
Yes, I suppose you're right. Indeed, the intended recipient's address is missing, however. No wonder he was so sweet in his letters, then? What? That he was... What does that mean? Because he was an artist? Or because he was someone who was poor? Or because he was rich? I'm very confused. There is a name attributed to the man's most beautiful and most charming sweetheart.
Mr. Slomes, please, I already had to chastise you about this once.
Because he was poor? And she is rich? Oh, that's what you're going with? That's what your context is on this? My undying love to you, my colorful darling. Olive green. See? Olive green? The woman who was plunged into a coma after a knife plunged into her back outside the house 5 days ago? Excuse me, 5 days ago. The victim of the last case Ozeki-san was in court for, who regained consciousness only yesterday? Is it just a chance that her name has come up now? Could it possibly be a mere coincidence?
Mr. Naruto, whatever could this mean?
Reading personal correspondence can have its merits, you see, Mr. Sato? Ha 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 ha! Well, you looked at the name, so at least we found that. Is there anything else? Nope. Alright. So I guess we'll go back to Olive then. Does it put Duncan in here now? Yes, it does. Aw. He looks so sweet. I feel bad for him. This poor guy. Seems like a nice guy.
Mr. Naruto, I've just finished speaking with the doctor. It seems Miss Green is well enough to be discharged at last.
Well, this is good news, but hopefully just before she leaves. Ah, what is it? Miss Green? What was that? She clearly just hid something behind her back.
One moment, I'll be with you in a jiffy.
Huh.
Oh, hello everyone. What are you all doing here? The doctor had said I can be discharged, so I'm getting all my things together. Miss Green, what were you just doing? Oh, nothing, really. I was just about to take some medicine the doctor prescribed for me, that's all.
Well, we were hoping to have another quick chat with you, if that's alright.
I don't really have anything else to tell you.
Alright. She's definitely behaving strangely. Let's see if we can't hoax something out of her. Hospital discharge. It's wonderful news that you're going to be discharged, Miss Green.
Oh, yes, I mean, thank you. Once people are better, the hospital staff don't want them lingering and wasting space. Not people like me, anyway.
Oh my gosh. No, it's for everybody. Please, your confidence needs to go up.
So, I don't think I should keep anyone waiting. I probably should stand around and chat.
She certainly doesn't seem to be in the mood to talk. That's for sure. Miss Green, we were hoping to ask you about someone. Mr. Duncan Ross. You knew him, didn't you? Oh no, I'm so sorry. The bottle of medicine fell down when she did.
Oh, Miss Green, are you alright?
Well, I don't blame her in the shock. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to startle you like that.
No, it's alright. I just wasn't expecting it. But how do you know about Duncan? Mr. Ross had been writing a letter when he passed away. Landlord found it in his room. It was a very personal letter to you. It was at the art school. That's where I met Duncan, a year ago now. He was working to fund his studies. He dreamt of becoming a professional artist one day. And the two of you became romantically involved? Yes, that's right. We were very much in love. We were engaged to be married.
Actual what? Oh no. Oh, come on, man. Really? It's not even a... Wait. Hold it. You knew each other a year and you're trying to get married. I feel bad for you that he was your fiancé that passed away. But you've only known each other a year and you were engaged to be married? By your family? By you guys? How did this come about? I have questions. Many questions. So does the mouse too.
That's why he decided to move into a cheaper room to save money for the wedding.
And that was his undoing, I guess. And that's what led him to Mr. Garib's.
Yes, he told me he found the worst but cheapest room in the entire East End. And then, one month ago, that's when it happened. We're so terribly sorry, Miss Green. Well, it's all in the past now, I suppose. Poor Miss Green. She looks desperately sad.
I was starting to think that's just her look. But now I see that she has every reason to feel the universe is against her.
I do hope you won't think I'm being rude, but... would you mind leaving me in peace now? I have to leave the hospital soon.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We didn't mean to hold you up. Of course we'll be on our way. Who said that? Mr. Naruto, surely you were not about to leave? That's quite out of the question. What? Mr. Slopes, I didn't realize you were here. But of course I was, my dear fellow. Watching intently from the shadows, as always. Well, make your presence known next time.
Mr. Sloanes, what's this about?
Something which occurs to me with some regularity. Mr. Sato, it is this. Why do detectives insist on such an ex post facto modus operandi? Why solve the case after it happened, instead of preventing a case before it happens? That is what a great detective... What sets a great detective apart. What do you mean? There is a case waiting to happen under our very noses, Mr. Naruto. So let's avert disaster. Let us prevent this case from ever happening. With nothing but careful observation. Alright. All the clues you need are set before you. You need only look and you cannot fail to see.
You can do it, Mr. Naruto. I know you can.
Huh? Are you talking about... Oh! Oh! No! The mouse! The rat! Whatever! The mouse seems to be dead. Look! I didn't notice it there before, did you?
I think perhaps I drank the medicine that spilled out of the bottle. But that's the bottle that Miss Green was about to drink from when we arrived.
Oh boy. You don't think... Ah, I see you've come up to appreciate the true nature of this scene. That of a tragedy about to take place. Yes, I think it's fallen into place. Miss Green, the contents of the bottle you had before has been spilt out on the floor, and the poor mouse that drank it has sadly died. I think it's clear that the bottle must have contained a powerful poison. Huh.
Don't worry, I will tend to the mouse presently.
Is she even more unfortunate? I don't know. Miss Green, were you intending to go the same way as that rodent? To take your... How do I word this? To cause harm? Once we'd left, you would have put it to your lips again, wouldn't you? And taken the poison? Subscribe for life. That is a way to word it. You get what I mean. I can't say certain words in a certain way. You know what is being expressed.
No! Miss Green, please talk to us.
Okay, let's... Oh, very well. Yep. It's like, I can't say certain words. YouTube don't like. It definitely feels as though this card must be relevant. I mean, when we first arrived, Miss Green was standing with it in her hand in what only can be described as a very tense atmosphere.
Yes, it may very well be related to whatever incident Mr. Soames believed was about to happen here.
Was it a blackmail letter?
Perhaps we should ask Miss Green about it.
10 seconds later, and we would have arrived at a very different scene here. In all probability, we have not enjoyed this most delightful conversation. Of course, perhaps it hasn't been quite so delightful from your perspective, Miss Green. Ooh. Can't... What I can't... Right, you can't say, I'm guessing. Yep. 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 Can't say it at all. It's not allowed. Even if you're trying to bring awareness to things, you can't say it. You literally cannot say it. It gets... The bots... YouTube do not like.
Actually, in a way, now that everything's out in the open, I feel like a weight has been lifted.
Tell me, how did you acquire that medicine? Yeah, how did you get a hold of that? You're an art student. How did you get a hold of poison?
Well, with this being a hospital and all, the doctor comes to examine me in the mornings. He always leaves the medicine cabinet open for a while, so I snuck this out when he wasn't looking.
Why the frick does a hospital have poison? Why? It conspicuously lacks a label. I wonder what it contains.
I'm afraid I don't really know. But I thought if I drank it, it might just stop the pain somehow.
Oh, what's better for century comes first your Instagram comment level of freedom? It's a fine line to walk.
Oh, please, Miss Green, don't talk of such things.
Well, it seems clear now that it contains poison. It's a mention that red boys are gonna wear gloves. Oh, why did I do that? Oh, some can have therapeutic effects. Is it like a certain dosage? Like a small little bit helps with therapeutic effects? It's gotta be, because it can't be a lot. And it would be, why would you leave it in here? You'd want it far, 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 far away from patients. Obviously, a pharmacy would put it far away from everything else. Sinin is the dosage. The dosing some is cryotonic too. Huh. Which I'm guessing the mouse drank a lot and caused it to die in Minecraft. As they say.
Yes, that poor little mouse is proof of that.
Cytotoxic?
Oh no, is it all my fault? What have I done?
I shall remove this to my office, Miss Green. I take it you have no objection?
No, none.
The card.
Neither the sender's name or address appears to be written on the envelope or the card.
Oh, coincidence. I have the other piece.
It arrived by post at my home the day before the incident that put me in the hospital here.
Ah. That's very strange. Huh. I have information regarding the death of Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. Wait a minute. The 17th of this month? That was the day you were stabbed in Briar Road.
And 5 p.m.
It is precisely the time when the incident occurred. Wow, she really has pet. Holy moly! Well, now we know how it connects to the accidental stabbing case. Even more now. The Slug and Salad, yes, a pub on the northern corner of Briar Road. Briar Road, being the street that Mr. Graves' house is on.
Does that mean that... Yes, I'm sure you've guessed. That day when I was struck in the back by the knife, I was actually on my way to the Slug and Salad. Goodness.
So that's what you were doing on Briar Road that day.
I'm sorry I didn't say anything before.
Wannabe took and Lola takes it was actually used illegally by at least enhanced performance. Oh! Really? Huh. Medicine is an interesting, complicated thing.
I think I really will have to ask you to excuse me now. I have told you everything.
Yes, I'm very sorry to have had to drag up such painful memories for you.
No, it's fine. Miss Green? Please, promise us you won't try to do anything like that again.
Fix it all. Yeah, that's true. That is very accurate.
Yes, don't worry, your detective friend has the bottle now anyway. And besides, I've been stabbed in the back and had a close shave with a bottle of poison, and I'm still here. I think I'm destined to see things through to the end.
Well, that's good.
It might sound a little conceited, but well, that's how all this made me feel.
Leaving Miss Green in St. Bartholomew's behind, we made our way back to Baker Street with Mr. Sloane's. This episode's been a wild ride. Well, it would appear we have reached the end of the investigative trail for now. Well, based on what you said, I hope so too. Yes, it's late. And, Mr. Naruto? Did you discover anything that may be of use to you in court tomorrow, do you think? Details about Mr. Shamespeare, Mr. Garib's lodgings, the convict Solden. There are many facets to this case, and we are yet to see to the heart of it, if you ask me. That's my feeling, anyway. Wording here, now I do. Yes, that is a character development, as they say. You care about her.
I can't help wondering about the results of the analysis.
Into Mr. Natsume's tea, you mean?
Yes, will they have found strychnine in it or not?
Well, I fear that either way, it will be hard to escape the grip of our friend Mr. Reaper.
Oh dear.
Yes, Brock Van Zeeks. But I wish you every success, of course, though I was late to rise this morning. Tomorrow will be a new dawn. I intend to spring from my bed at this crisp hour and attend the trial.
Mr. Sloane's, you're going to come?
Indeed, whatever happens, I shall be there, assuming my eyelids cooperate in the morning. Well, I think we've done all we can. All that's left is to remain focused and keep fighting for Mr. Natsume's cause until the very end. Woohoo! London, the world's most prosperous city, home to some 6 million people. But away from the razzle-dazzle, down back alleyways and behind bricked-up windows, the lonely lurk. Soseki-san had battled long and hard with loneliness during his many months here. And so I feel honored bound to battle equally hard for my compatriot, to lift the curse that has gripped him. And as Mr. Sloane said, tomorrow will be a new dawn. For all of us. That was a good quote, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. To be continued a bit right now. Trial Part 2. 23rd of February, 9:23 a.m. The Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. Tomorrow we lose our lawyer's license. Why? Why are you... Hi. He's a cat again. I see him sleeping in the cell again to not do good for his health. This is the silence.
This is it then, Mr. Naruto.
Yes, it's time to put an end to this now. Because I'm very curious, of course. What do you mean? The miserable curse that's been plaguing Mr. Natsume, to everything.
And in my own small way, I shall do everything I can to help you.
I always appreciate your help, Mrs. Sato.
Suffering, Soseki, selfishly, silent.
Good morning to you too, Mr. Natsume.
Good morning! Good morning! Welcome, student Mr. Naruto! Mr. Naruto Esquire! Listen to you two chatting away happily as if the main player of today's trial isn't here. Why would you do that? Why? Oh dear. We didn't mean to cause offense, Mr. Natsume.
His poor teeth are going to be grinded to dust.
I thought perhaps that because you had your eyes shut so tightly you were meditating, finding inner calm. It seemed wrong to disturb you. I was waiting! What's the matter, Mr. Natsume? You seem different somehow today. Why, naturally, that's because I'm in attempted spiritual enlightenment. The path of literature, you see, is a journey to discover one's own death.
I mean, aren't you curious to know how it happened? How someone as uptight as Naruto lost his license?
Oh, did he? Oh, yeah, he did, didn't he? I completely forgot that he did.
Yeah, how did he? He's not British, what do you mean? Soseki-san's Japanese. Zeki Natsume, he is a Japanese man. How is he British? Yeah, I completely forgot. Yeah, I am curious how that happens. Or such like, that sort of morning conversation I was hoping for. That's why I had my eyes shut. I missed the signs, I'm afraid, somehow. You'll have to forgive me. Yes! What do you mean he is? What do you mean? Sozeki Natsume, 33, a Japanese scholar sent to London to further his research into the English language. He's just been acquitted for a very serious crime, but now he finds himself accused of another. What do you mean? He's not... Yes, he is a Japanese man. He has said it. Have you not seen his shoes? Have you not seen the wooden shoes? Have you not hear him talk about... In the East, how we drink tea. It's so many things. I thought he was English because of how he dressed. Well, he's living in London. So, obviously, where you live, you're going to wear clothes that fit in with people if you don't want to stand out. So he's wearing European clothes. It makes a ton of sense for him to wear European clothes. He's living in London. That's just an example. Oh yes, there it is. Intercom. You barely came to see me at all yesterday. I was sure you'd abandoned me and returned to our beautiful long-lost homeland. And him talking about Japan as his homeland.
We've not even been in Great Britain a week yet.
Yeah, the very British name, Sozeki Natsume. Remember, that's his full name. No, he's not. He went back to Japan. After this case, he got out of Dodge quick. He went back home. Remember in the first trial of the second game? He's back in Japan. Yes, well, anyway, I intend to set everything straight in court today. I'm determined to uncover the truth. I've actually reached an important decision myself. Oh, what sort of decision? I shall fill you in after the trial. Alright.
It would seem Mr. Slomes isn't coming today after all. It's a very clever message, I think. My dear fellows, you must win this battle on your own merits.
It's a very clear message, I think, that he's overslept again.
The great detective, my arch nemesis.
Surrounded by cats. Is it because he became one recently? Well, he had a cat previously, so... And the cat gave birth to a kitten, so anything is possible, I would assume.
Oh, baby, stay away! If you ask me.
Defendant and your legal representative, the trial is about to begin. Make your way into the courtroom immediately.
Okay.
Yeah, but in Japan, the guys were obviously. Yeah, were they? I guess. Maybe he just has a certain air about him. Today, once again, we face the Reaper. And when the Reaper stands for the prosecution, the defendant's fate is sealed. But I don't believe in that legend any more than I believe in Soseki-san's curse. The truth is hidden somewhere, and I won't let it escape me. I have to keep believing in my client and keep fighting to the very end. That's all. 23rd of February, 9:40 a.m. The Old Bailey courtroom. And look, everyone's back.
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
Oh, he's doing the vampire thing again.
Survives the Reaper.
It is. It is, it is. Prosecution is ready. Yes, the defense is ready.
Very good. And now I call upon the 6 ladies and gentlemen of the jury, chosen by the law to represent the will of the people in this trial. Are you ready to proceed?
dude seems pretty cursed to me. How many people go to court this often, this quickly? That's why he left to go back home. Because he thought to himself, yeah, I think I'm done in Europe. And he went right back home to Japan. He's like, I'm here. I'm good. I'm good. I've had enough experience of London to last a lifetime. And I don't blame him. Absolutely, justice will be done, you mark my words.
I feel obligated to say I feel especially restless on days when my head is sitting just right. Oh, well, I wonder if you could just adjust my hat for me and please be as ruthless as you like.
Thieves deserve to die if you ask me, especially gas thieves. I have no sympathy for the man at all. Look, I said it yesterday and I'll say it again now. I don't have time for this, I've got my own problems. Someone gets to the unluckiest situation possible. That is true.
Oh, my Lord, show us all the light here and lead his flock to a righteous verdict again today.
I've learned so much about this juror. This old man, it's ridiculous. He's a surgeon. He's got grandchildren. He also is religious. What else am I going to learn about this man? Is he going to be in the next case? Golly.
Now, Lord Van Zeeks, what can you tell us? The prosecution
And he's got bad hearing too. That is also true. We've learned about this guy, we don't even know his name. I know so much about him.
The prosecution's report, please, for the court. In relation to the theory expounded by the defense yesterday regarding the defendant's tea.
So he does have the results. Alright, I got my thing all set and ready. I got my list. That is one of those things, if you got the same jurors as often as you do in these games, it would be a mistrial. Yeah, apparently London is really... There's 6 million, they said. 6 million people in London. And somehow, we get the same freaking 10... I'll say 15 to be generous. 15 people. What the frick? Before the prosecution delivers the black news about the black tea belonging to the black god in the dock. Not in a corrupted state. Pray allow me a moment to savor a liquid of more sanguine hue. In fact, I'll defer to the good detective for the report. Here's to you, Inspector. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. As indicated by the defense, we have found a bar of soap just outside the victim's window in the snow. And there was indeed a frozen reddish liquid in a little depression on the top of it. Yes, that's the tea. That's what Mr. Natsume brought with him that night. Well, the brains at the yard net analyzed it, and yes, you're right, it was tea. And there wasn't a trace of citrulline, or any other toxin substance in it.
No poison at all.
I guess this is the same courtroom where the prosecution drinks wine and the inspector eats fish the whole time. Yep. And also, the defense attorney has a sword. Just has a sword in here. You know, just the usual stuff. And then one of the jurors who had a knife. You know, just completely fine. No issues at all. In other words, the tea that the defendant brought with them to the victim's room is innocent. It is clear. To lunchroom, not a courtroom. I don't think you should have weapons in a lunchroom either.
What a revelation!
As I suspected. Well, I guess the only thing that hasn't changed is that in the modern day, Godot had coffee, so... And... Francisca has a whip, so I guess some things haven't changed. Too much in the universe of Ace Attorney. Now that I think about it. Are only tools? Yeah, but these ones are sharp.
Objection!
I didn't even get to read that, excuse you. And you jumped to freaking you're too narcissistic. Let me read. As I suspected, this makes it quite clear the defendant, Mr. Sozeki Natsume, is blameless here. My learned friend is jumping to conclusions again. Typical me pony's reaction. You know what this is from? I have no idea. What? Yes, it's true. No poison was found in the few drops of liquid recovered from the soap on the Windows ledge. But what logic is that? Would you take a drop from the Thames and conclude the water in the ocean isn't salty? Or usually the most unstable. Yeah. I guess so. Yeah, I said we have a sword in here.
My word, the water in the ocean is extremely salty, Council!
Up there. Wow, we already... Okay, we add to the list again. That's a throne. That's a 4 thrown to a 1 shatter. Exactly. And fitting for drinking, just as the victim's tea was on the night in question, as the court has already heard. Bitter was the precise word for the lips of Mr. William Shakespeare. The prosecution now calls back to the stand. I mean, realistically, the judge would throw out the entire case and give an arbitrary decision. Then we'd have no game. Yay, the list. History is fun. Yes, history can be fun. Number to the wiki later. Well, no, I'd have to go through every single case. This is starting from this case. If they warn the audience that the space behind the prosecution is a splash zone. Probably not. But I assume they would expect so.
Very well, I will uphold the prosecution's request.
Mr. Shakespeare. Yes, it sounds like we're going to have another confrontation with our theatrical friend.
Bailiff, show Mr. Shakespeare to the stand!
Oh boy. Mr. William Shakespeare, the victim of this despicable crime?
Oh, heavens! Oh, heck, do you command me to remember? Forsooth, 'twas I, Shakespeare, did have a bellyful of foul fluid given in mine innocence.
Yes, but as was revealed in yesterday's proceedings, the witness is not as innocent as we have perhaps first been led to believe.
By using bars of soap such as this, he has been stealing gas from the supply company, yes.
One may smile and be a villain. Forsooth, 'twas I, Shakespeare, did have a roomful of sweet fuel given.
That's right, fewer jurors, don't forget, this man is a rotten thief. I out squatting. Kept all that about the ice coins at Titty's secret, didn't you? Tidy's secret, didn't you? You should have owned up sooner.
Arrest him, I say. Arrest him at once and make him feel the sting in my tail.
Oh, indeed, by dint of veil and cowardly means, I plotted to further my own ends, I confess. Thou wouldn't not pardon my sins. Of that I am sure.
If you acknowledge your wrongdoing, what exactly are you doing here?
Cowards die many times before their deaths. And for a coward such as I, death be well deserved. But would it that still a greater crime passeth unpunished?
Cursed be that censorship, golly. Before expressing what the frick? Why, and Shakespeare over here?
For lo, the hairy-faced gentleman of further east than Verona did contrive to poison me.
Objection!
Freaking jumping. But there was no poison in the tea you found in your room. The police have attested to that. Well, the defense would assert as an inconsistency will quickly be cleared up by the witness's testimony. You're gonna make me believe a liar about what the testimony? Golly. Is that not so, Mr. Shakespeare?
Verily, my liege, I would most gladly speak.
Just add a button to the game. It lets you punch the witness but makes you lose the case. I don't blame him. Yes, it's definitely, he looks like he's at those carnival games where you like use the little like the bow and arrow type thing, you know what I mean. Or throw and try to hit the target with the ball.
Very well, let the witness testify to this inconsistency. Oh my god. Tell the court why is it that poison apparently entered your body, though none was found in the tea.
Alright. I'll get this testimony and then I'll end for the night. The tea inconsistency.
The Japanese man did come to my chamber with tea brewed in a pot. 'Twas in my cup alone that the wicked miscreant secretly poured his wicked poison. Whilst feigning distraction in our debate, ne'er did a drop of his own drink pass his lips. When he departed by and by, I used the tea that remained in his cup to make my coin of ice. Thus 'tis no surprise the poison be not found in the tea I did pour into the molds of soap.
Huh?
The poison was slipped into the cup after the tea had been poured. The normal way for poison to be administered, in my experience. Quite, otherwise it would be disastrous if the poisoner were to mix up the cups, for instance.
But no poison bottle was found at the seat.
Because, quite simply, the Nipponese took the bottle back to his own room.
And Scotland Yard didn't search it for this bottle?
The absence of a vessel containing the poison only becomes problematic when considering harm. I knew that. By now it should be perfectly clear. A bar or two of cheap soap is wholly insufficient to wash the deep stains of guilt from the accused hands.
Sirs, madams, 'tis true that I, Shakespeare, be a common thief of gas.
But, listen here, ladies and gentlemen.
Wherefore would I lie? Verily, I have no cause. I have naught to lose. Well,
I do declare.
Thank you for your testimony, witness. Counsel, proceed with the cross-examination.
Yes, my lord. Hey, like I said, when you try to think of something on the spot, your brain just goes, oh, what do I do? Did come to my chamber with a pot of tea. Okay. I understand that you were already acquainted with Mr. Natsume. Is that correct?
I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers. Do I know thee, or know thee not? Methinks 'tis all I can know, that thy destiny mingles with mine.
I think that's a yes. You lost me at the first B.
Thou, sir, thou must learn the English tongue before thou turns thy hand to lawyering.
This isn't even regular English. This is just you being a Shakespearean English that we need to, like, you know, have not been speaketh for a whileeth. I think it's only as youeth making these things. And just putting a bunch of if in things and thous. It's just more confusing. I did, but I must have missed the archaic Elizabethan lecture.
Verily, in truth, 'twas a fine flavored brew.
Oh, wait. I know it. I know, I got rid of it. Oh, well, good, you got rid of it. I'm glad that you got rid of it.
Nor a drop of poison did barb its sweetness, as the thorn doth barb the sweet rose. That, dear friends, be the simplest truth.
And yes, I make him like a soft-spoken because it helps with my voice, man.
Listen to Mr. Shakespeare. He seems even better form than he was yesterday.
Either that or I'm in worse form.
That fated night after I did dine at Grubb's Grubbery, a local alehouse of good report. Naught did pass my lips but the tainted black tea. But behold, the poison was not in the tea at first.
The frickin' handshake. Whatever he's doing.
Hold it!
Are you saying that you saw the moment when the poison was added to your tea?
To have witnessed the act and then drank the tea, thou dost describe the actions of a fool.
Well, I am looking at one, so I don't know what to tell you, buddy. So did he just slip in the middle of his testimony there? Maybe. I have no idea.
Quite so, quite so.
But no one likes going thirsty, do they? Sooner would I die quenched than parched. But I have the choice.
Actually, on the night in question, the water main was frozen, I believe, wasn't it?
Were it not for the tea, in sooth I would have sooner have died frozen than quenched or parched.
Right, no ice coins means no heating. The witness has more than one brush with death on the night in question, it would seem. Remind the court, Mr. Shakespeare, as to whether the accused drank any of the tea which he had brought with him.
With the greatest of pleasure, my liege.
That shook the planet. Wow. Well, good for you. In our debate. So he didn't drink the tea, he says. But the teacup Mr. Natsume drank from was found completely empty at the scene. And let's not forget the defendant's maxim, drink tea while it's hot.
I did go from the poisoned cup that night, and in mine agony I'd writhe uncontrolled.
Again, what did I miss? A lot. Like a lot. I don't know how to explain. Pretty much Miss Green is a poor, unfortunate soul. So how do I explain this in the simplest way possible? Okay, where Suzeki Natsume, our client, is staying, this guy used to live in. He died from a gas poisoning a month ago. And then 3 months ago was a guy named Sheldon who was found guilty of burglary and murder. He died, but then he had stuff left in his house that people assume that's where he left his treasure. And Duncan Ross is the boyfriend slash fiance of Olive Green. She was given a letter, anonymous letter in her mailbox about project. I won't stay long because Olive Green got a letter from someone that said that they knew what happened to her fiance Duncan and that they shouldn't say anything to anyone and to meet at 5 p.m. on the 17th, which was the day she got stabbed in the back. So yeah, there's the context.
In fits of pain, I did knock the fellow's cup, and its contents spilled his blood from a gaping wound, methinks. Though certainly, 'twas after I made the coins of ice from his tea.
An upset cup was found on the table that the victim was slumped over. There is no contradiction here.
It's true, there was no tea left in either cup that we found at the scene. But still, something about this statement is troubling me.
Yes, of course, I know what it is. It's Mr. Natsume's wise drink tea while it's hot maxim, isn't it? Context is really something these games have. Depends. Depends on context, depends on case, and depends on time period. So, technically no, but depends.
No, I'm not sure that's it.
Thank you, witness. Now reiterate for the court what it is that occupied you after your guest had left and before you drank your tea.
Okay, I think I'm gonna end for the night, sorry. My throat is at its wit's end right now. I can't keep going. Next time we'll get through the court. I quote for something bad and out of context, but don't want to. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Alright, tomorrow is Persona, so guys be excited. Persona is tomorrow. Woo! Yeah, we got a lot done. We got the whole investigation done. But yeah, tomorrow's Persona, so get excited for that. Oh, well. Thanks for subscribing. But yeah, tomorrow's Persona. We'll finally get to see, the Kanashiro. Grass seller be in trouble. It's Fear and Hunger. It's not Fear and Hunger. Hey, that'll be next week? So, just know that it's gonna happen. Alright, thank you guys for watching the stream, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!